Yeah. You already know it's your boy Manny Mad Dog. As we do each and every Friday, man. It's Syndicate Fridays, man. Talk show. You already know, man. I always bring on them legends, man. Nothing but them legends to give their talk, man, their conversation. I need their testimonials, man, from day one to now to where we going, man. This week we got somebody real great, man. I apologize for what happened a couple of weeks back, man. But we back in the building, man, with my brother AJ Alexander. Give it up for AJ Alexander.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, cuz? How you doing, man?
Man, just chilling, man. Just got to Atlanta, so kind of tired that time difference, you know. So down here with my brother Keith Sweat, man, doing some work. You know, Keith.
Ooh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there in a minute. Keith Sweat. Ooh, you talking about a
Oh
legend
yeah,
right there, boy.
well that's a legend, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to a legend, and you talking about a legend.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. I apologize for what occurred last time, and we're gonna run it right tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's take it back to the beginning, man. Where you from, Daddy?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, but then moved to Indiana. So when I went into manhood, I was in Indiana, Fort Wayne,
All right,
Indiana,
where you went to school at?
Southside High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh shit, man. And what was that like, man? I remember you talking and I read in your bio, bro, and us talking about the bands, man. The band started when? In high school?
Oh, that band started in elementary school, like the fifth and sixth grade. We were
Stop
playing
playing,
instruments.
man.
No, we were playing instruments, man, and it was the Midwest was vital for that. It was vicious, and every school had a band. Everybody wanted to be, cool in the gang or be Confunction or Cameo, you know.
Ooh,
So
you
yeah,
named
that's where
some
we came
names
from.
there.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
So those are the people that you looked up in terms of creating a band. At what age did you create a band, and when obviously if you're saying you was in elementary school when you created a band, and I never heard nobody saying that, but it's the first time I hear that, man. How did that happen?
Well, I had cousins, man, and everybody's musicians. I had uncles that were guitar players in Detroit. A lot of my family's in Detroit, of course, the whole Motown thing. And I had an uncle that played in the Funk Brothers. And I was just always around music, man. And on my mom's side, I had all her brothers and stuff play guitar. So that's the half white side of the family. So
Yes, and
you doing that?
your mom is legendary too in her singing prowess. But go ahead, we ain't gonna get there.
Nah, my mom wasn't a singer. It was the other people and her brothers were, but I inherited the gene.
And that's how the whole band thing started. So it was a family
Yeah,
affair.
yeah. It like when you go to a basketball court and you get five brothers together to play a basketball game. That's how it was with members, with bands. Everybody used, hey man, we got a band. Hey, I got a drummer. We got a guitar player, man. We got some singers, and that's how everybody wanted to be. Cameo, Confunction, uh, the Commodores, Earth,
All
Wind
the
and
hot
Fire.
bands back then. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So y'all was following their lead, man. How old were you at this point?
13, 14, 15,
Coming up. So y'all doing
coming
gigs
up.
and all that, church gigs, local gigs, and things of that nature, like
Well, I never did a church gig. We used to do school gigs,
school gigs.
school dances. We do
Yeah.
school because back then the church play that.
So obviously you was playing the music of the bands you enjoyed. When did you start getting to the original music?
I mean, I think I wrote my first song about it 11, 12. And then when you playing, you're always making up songs. But then me and my cousin, we had a band called Positive People, and we started writing songs, and it's just creative. It's just part of the process. Just like anybody else that came up playing in bands and started writing songs.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you. So is was okay. Obviously, this was your introduction to the business. Your family was the introduction to your business. You feel me? So it was already like you was already there because Mama was already singing, the family singing, y'all touring and
no,
all
no.
this shit.
No, my mom wasn't singing. It was my uncles, her
Your
brothers,
uncle. Okay, I see Mama
her
singing, so
brothers.
I guess Mama came later on.
No, my mom. I mean, they sung in church, but my mom never was a singer.
Okay,
No,
just the brothers and the
no,
sisters.
just her brothers.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about. So the brothers were singing. You moving around. What made you think, or what at what point did you feel like, yo, I need to be a part of this industry, this business? Was
Well,
it always in you?
oh, it was always in me, but I also played sports. So I had one was right hand, one was left hand. So I was always doing them both.
So what was the
You know,
sports?
football and track and boxing.
Ah, was
And
that through high
you know,
school?
all the way junior high school. High school, I got my black belt when I was 14, but then I
Woo!
played football in high school and ran track.
Oh, so outside of the band, what were your interests?
Girls. That was my interest. Girls, man. Girls and martial arts. Martial arts was my other interest.
I feel you. So as you getting grown, you leaving high school, right?
Right.
Do you follow the band? Like is that something like what was the next move out of that?
When I left high school, I wanted to go play football, but that didn't work out. And I joined the Navy.
Okay,
And I
I
joined the
read
Navy.
that you're a military dude.
Yeah, so I joined the Navy, and so I played sports in the Navy. Played football and boxed in the Navy.
So
You
did you
know,
play for the actual team, the Navy football team?
yeah, Navy. We had what we call intercollegiate. You had the
Yeah. Did you ever play
you
in the
had the
Army Navy game?
we see there's two different leagues. You
Okay.
have see the Army and Navy; those are the colleges, right?
Right, right.
But when
Okay,
you
okay,
have the intercontinental, you have the fleet. The fleet has Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine football teams,
okay.
which is bigger. So the college kids they played um, against the college, but we played on a bigger scale. We were like one step from being pro.
Uh, wow, wow. That's crazy, man. How long did you do that for?
Ooh, my whole military career, 8 years. My whole 8 years, I was always on a
Eight
team.
years. Okay.
On a
And
team,
during
and
that many years, man, I know the military has a band. Were you part of the band or were you doing your thing with your band?
no, no,
How
no,
did that
no, no, no. We formed our own band. We formed funk bands and R&B bands. We wasn't in the marching
Ah
band or military. Nah, we formed bands. We had to play and sing and stuff like that. Because you had so many brothers that somebody that had played guitar, somebody played piano, somebody played drums, somebody played bass. A couple of brothers played saxophone. Hey, let's start a band. All right, cool. We started listening to music, started putting it together, making it work.
y'all it came from different areas, man. Everybody had different vibration in terms of who they was, where they came from, and what their music background was. That's
Right.
crazy. And how did that come together? So you did that? Did you guys perform like I don't know, like in the cities that you was in? How did that work for you?
No, we performed on the bases, the Navy bases we were
Okay.
stationed at. And like every weekend that you had an NCO club, we were performing at the clubs. You know what I mean? So,
Right,
you had
right. But that's
doing
how
it
you
like
was
that.
tapping in, like the weekend gigs?
Yeah. Because you had your regular duty. And then when you had off duty, we would rehearse and then we would have gigs on the weekend at the NCO club.
That's
So Cello
fire,
Management
man.
Club.
So through this process, were you still writing?
Yeah, always, man, always. Everybody done wrote a song. At the time it was corny as hell, it's stupid or whatever, but we was always writing, you know what I mean?
So you performing original music and cover music.
Now back then we would do one original music, but you had to learn cover music because ain't nobody gonna stay in no club and listen to you sing your own shit. You had to come with the jams, man. The SOS band,
They want the
Cameo,
hit.
Confunction. Yeah, Earth, Wind and Fire. You had to come like that, you know.
So y'all was doing it. What instruments you were playing?
I played bass, drums, and guitar.
Damn,
A
bro. So
little bit
you
keyboard, but in those bands, I was playing bass, drums, and guitar. I was rotating.
so you play music, multiple musical instruments. Like
Yeah, I played five.
what?
Uh, whoop.
Stop playing, man.
No, no,
So you
no. I
was
played
doing
five.
your thing, man. So what was the antithesis after being in the military, man? Like I know you got into the business, right?
Right,
What was the drive of the business? How did you get into the music business coming out of the military for 8 years, right? Am I correct?
right. Yes. So I
You
was
know what I'm
man.
saying? Like what was the transition after you leave the military after 8 years, man? What was the transition out?
Oh man, I started doing, playing football. I was a free agent, but then um, I did 1 year at law school at University of Miami, and I didn't like it. So I started working
Hey,
for
I
this lawyer.
graduated from UN. I grad
Oh,
91, baby. I'm a
okay.
graduate of UN.
So I started working for this lawyer out of Coral Gables,
Okay.
and I became a bounty hunter, man. Because he represented all them drug boys. This is like 86, 87, 88, and I started doing security work, and through a convection, I ended up working with New Edition.
How did that
And
happen, man? Like come on, Mo. You can't just fly by that and be like,
well,
how did that connection come? Somebody connected you to that.
oh yeah, I was hustling, doing security work and driving because me and a partner of mine, Phil Francis, we had Starlight Limousine. So I was running a bodyguard limousine service, and I actually ended up doing a concert, and a guy named Big West. He's a legend in the industry. Big West,
Big West, yes.
Big West. So Big West saw me, and he had me doing some limo runs, and he told me, "Hey man, we got this tour going out, man. Like I'm saying, if you want to do it, I get you on." So he called me, he got me on. So my first gig, majorly was with New Edition. I was driving the band, and that lasted for about a week, and some things
A
went
week.
sour. Yeah, some things went sour, which I don't want to talk about. Things sour. So I ended up working with Bobby
Was it with the
Brown.
business? Things went sour with the business. We don't got to talk about
People
it.
people around in the business, but
Okay, okay.
that's when, I started working with. Then I started working with Bobby Brown, and that's why I stayed with Bobby Brown for 12 years.
How did that hold on real quick, man? Like you can't cut through transition. So you and you did shit for a week, right? Through that
Right.
process, did you and Bobby Brown become cool? Or how did that occur?
No, actually, I was supposed to give Bobby a ride to the venue, and something happened where I ended up standing him up. And when I went back and told him, I apologized, and I told him what happened, and he was pissed, and he said, "Yo, man, you want to come work for me?" I was like, "Yeah, all right, you driving for me now." And that was just that simple. And that's why
Damn.
I was a driver before I was a bodyguard.
So you played dual roles for him.
Yeah.
Damn, Bobby Brown, man. And was this at the height of Bobby Brown? Like, was this during the
Yep.
Whitney Houston Bobby Brown? This before the
Yes.
Whitney Houston Bobby Brown?
Both,
Through both.
both.
So
Yeah.
you was there.
I was there when he met with me.
Wow, man. How does all right, I don't want to get into that deep because I know there's a lot of gray ground on that, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a whole lot to cover, man, that I think you should have in a book. If you think about writing a book, because you could probably cover if you've been with him for 12 years, I know there's a lot that you've seen, man. During that process, man, how did it feel for you to be with Bobby Brown, man? Like you said, you was at the height of when he was B Brown. I'm talking about on his own. What was that
I mean,
experience like?
it felt good, man, because I was at the top of my game. I was one of the baddest bodyguards in the game, and because I was military trained, so it was good. I got to start seeing. I already was used to the women. I had women and all that stuff, but it's just started the whole fame and music industry thing. It just started. the whole thing together.
What was tour life like with Bobby Brown, man? I gotta ask, bro.
Put it like this: it was crazy, but Bobby was a great boss. But with Bobby, it was always the motherfuckers around him that caused problems. But so it was fun. I mean, I got to travel the world, got to do a lot of stuff, and there was some dangerous stuff going down, but I handled it. But it was great. It was really great.
And through the dramas, man, like how was it through the dramas? Like, when you look back, and there's a lot of cats that didn't know, until they seen the actual the biopics and all that. And even myself, there was things I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've been around for a long time, there was things I didn't know. Excuse me. But during that time, man, during that drama, man, where he was in the shootout, where I think it was his brother-in-law or his brother-in-law, the B guy killed in Boston. I'm
Right.
sure you was around during that time. Were you were you with him just on tour, or were you with him,
No, actually,
personally, like going into
no,
these places with him during the downtime?
no. Actually, we were off tour. We were in Atlanta, but he was in Jersey with Whitney. So Whitney had her own security. So when he was with Whitney at their home in Jersey, we were all in Atlanta at Bobby's house.
Okay.
But when that happened, what happened with that shooting, Bobby he just jumped in the Bentley and drove to Boston with his and picked up his boy and they ride around Boston. He was riding around without security. So and that's when that whole thing happened. Um, and I actually went on the Geraldo show about that because Geraldo was saying that yo Bobby Brown's bodyguard, there was some douchebag. I'm like yo, I called the show man and went on the show like yo man, you need to know what the fuck you talking about, you know.
So you went and
Anyway,
told your story.
yeah, it's like yo man, Bobby was in Jersey with Whitney. Bobby left on his own. He just got in his car and left on his own and went to Boston. You know what I mean? And so that's how things happen. It was
Would he
like,
talk to you about when he was doing stuff like that, or he would talk to you about it afterward? Like, would you find out? Like, would he be like, "Yo, AJ, I'm leaving, dog," or would you find out like, "Yo, I'm coming back"?
I mean, whenever he was with me, I always had his movement and knew everything. But when he would go out, he'd be like, "Yo," he didn't have to check in with us when he was with his wife. When he was with his wife, he didn't check in with us. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be up there with I'm gonna be up there with my wife," and like that, and that was it.
That's
So then,
crazy. That's crazy, man. Are you still good with Bobby Brown? Like, what's your relationship
yeah,
like these days?
yeah, we all brothers, man. We all brothers. Me, Bobby, Ralph, Johnny
The
Gill.
guys, you still good with the guys and
Yeah,
all that?
yeah, I'm good guys, but I'm really tight with Johnny Gill and Ralph. But me
Okay.
and Bobby always be brothers. That's 12 years of my life right there. But I'm really tight because I've been working with Johnny Gill for like the last 27 years. So
Woo! So you taking it
yeah,
back to the Stacey Lattisaw days?
you know, yeah. So working with Johnny Gill, doing security and the videographer and everything.
So
So yeah,
obviously you build relationships through this process because you're a good dude. You feel me?
man.
And
Thank
you
you, man.
have a great
Appreciate it.
understanding.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Let me ask you a question, bro. So I remember the last time we was going there, man. But let's talk about this Any Heartbreak tour. So you on
Okay.
tour with you rock with the brothers, you rock with Any, you rock with Bobby Brown. But at that point, you was representing Bobby Brown, right?
Right.
So when it went down at that one that they talk about where there was shootouts and there was things and there was beef on the stage and cats fight, really pretty much the finale of the Heartbreak tour. Was you there?
Yeah.
And how did that go down from your eyes, brother? What you can tell me.
Well, It was a New York gangster thing, man. You know, New York had some goons. You know what I mean? So it was a New York gangster thing, and you know, they pushed, we pushed back. You know what I mean? And it just came to that, and do it out of respect for people and not pulling scabs off old wounds.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
is some because
Disrespectfully.
people die. Yeah, people died behind that. So people went to went to prison behind it. You know, a real good friend of mine went to prison behind it. You know, so it was like really crazy. It was really crazy.
Were you the head of Bobby Security during that tour?
Yeah.
And how in your eyes, how did the tour go down? Was it a whole lot of beef, man, going down, or
No,
you know
the
what I'm saying?
tour,
Because television gonna show you one thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But
the tour
I want the real story from somebody that was there.
the, the tour was good, and I go back and reiterate, it's the people outside of the groups that cause the problems.
Is it the goons?
It was goons, but I had to be more of a goon. So and this New Edition security, we were all cool. We were all cool, and then the one Khalil got killed.
Yeah.
But we were all cool. So we had our guys, but it was always outside entities that brought the problems. So yeah, like that.
Ain't it always like that, bro? It's the people outside of the artists and the close entourage, you know, the management, the publicists, and so on and so forth, that always want to
Right.
bring the dramas because they want to. I don't know, man. I guess they want to show and prove that they're loyal.
Right.
Did you encounter that?
Always, man. You encounter all kind of crazy shit, man. And sometimes, see, I was military trained, so that's just, that's why I'll beef. I will say beef through it because I had a lot of beefs with people, but I had squashed it. You know what I mean?
And you was good.
Yeah.
So I so now we gonna get to the meat of it. So you in Atlanta. There's an event going on. New talent showcase. And you see this kid.
Right.
What's the kid's name?
Usher. Usher Raymond.
Cause it be so many, bro. Let's be honest, it be so many, bro, and it be so few and far. Like people don't understand, it be so few and far between that come from that conversation to 30 years later. Look what it's become. Few and far
Right.
between, bro. Let's be honest, bro. Out of 100 million, it's like finding that needle in the haystack, man. So you found the needle in the haystack. Tell me about that day. That day that you walk into this place, you not thinking about no Usher. You don't know no Usher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell us about the event. Tell us why you was there. You feel what I'm saying? Because obviously
Okay.
this coming off of you being on the road with Bobby and New Edition. So you in a great place in terms of your network, who you rocking with. You feel me? And then all of a sudden, tell us about that day, bro. I want to know about that day. My listeners want to know about that day that Usher was discovered. And this ain't no MTV situation. This some real live. Come on, let's
Yeah.
go. Tell me
Okay. Yeah.
about how that day went and what that event was about.
Okay. I was out on tour with TLC. My band was the band with behind TLC.
TLC, yes.
We were out on the MC
That's why
Hammer.
Ian Burke say he know you.
Yeah. We were out on the MC Hammer, Boys the Men, Jodeci, and TLC, and we were playing behind TLC. So some things went down on the road where I had to come off the road, or I was going to take somebody's life, basically. So I flew into Atlanta. My girl picked me up from the airport. When I was driving home, I heard they had talent auditions on, at this hotel for a talent show. And I was like, well, yo, all right, let me
Where
go
was
see
it
what's
at
over there
again?
in Decatur, Georgia. And so The next day, I go out there to the hotel where they were having auditions, and I looked at 10 acts. I didn't see nothing I liked. So I was going to walk out, and they said, "Okay, the last act for the audition, let's give it up for Usher Raymond." I'm like, "What the hell is a Usher Raymond?" You know? And so I was standing outside the door, getting ready to leave.
You was ready to go.
Yeah, and this little kid came out singing "End of the Road," and I waiting for the other four niggas to come out. You know what I mean? I waiting for the other four, but he sung that song by himself. I'm like, yo, this kid he's a beast, you know. And so I saw him. I went and approached his mom, and I told him who I was. And Usher was a big Bobby Brown fanatic, and he was like, "Bobby Brown, Bobby Brown." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh,
And I said, "Well, bring him over to my house tomorrow." And so, because I told her I can get you a kid a record deal. She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah."
what? Hold
I
on,
said,
hold on. What made you feel that you could do that? Coming
"I
from where
saw
you
the kid
from, in the position you in.
because being the bodyguard for Bobby Brown was the biggest dude on the planet at that time. So
That's right.
I knew everybody in the industry. And Bryant Reed, L.A. Reid's brother, Reed was
LA
tight.
Reason, yeah.
Reed brother, me and Brian was tight. So I did when I started training Usher, I took him around different people, and people was turning him down. You know,
Hold on,
Dallas
hold on.
Austin.
Even before training him, even before starting to train him, when you first speak to Miss Payne and you first speak to him, once you see him, right, he gets off the stage. What did that conversation go down like?
I didn't even talk to him. I went to his mom and said, "Look, I
Okay.
just saw your son. I can get your son a record deal." And Usher didn't know who I was. He just thought I was some guy talking to his mom. And he heard me say Bobby Brown. He turned
You try
around,
to holler at his mom?
no, holding conversation because he was married. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah,
people was
yeah, yeah.
talking with her, you know.
Right.
And he said, he heard me say Bobby Brown, and he turned around, "Bobby Brown, you with Bobby Brown?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so I told his mom, I said, "I can get your kid a record deal. Trust me." Dad said, "You know what? Don't trust me. Watch me." And that's where it all began. And, you
So
know,
what,
and
so what was the next move after that? Like, did you sign? Come on, bro. You know I need to know, bro. Did you sign into an agreement? Did you run on
no,
your word? Like, what was the next move in your mind? What was the next call? What was the next move?
the next move for me to start training him and showcasing him in front of people. So I would approach people and have Usher sing for people. Dallas Austin. I introduced him to Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri had crisscross, but Jermaine Dupri was like, "Hey man, you know, I'm busy right now. I'm sure I'll work with you sometime, but I can't take on the project right now." And then Dallas Austin, and then I was doing showcases, and actually Keith Sweat wanted to sign Usher before LaFace did.
Oh, wow. Tell
Keith
it,
Sweat,
brother.
yeah, I was doing my showcases with. I had Usher performing with the band, and matter of fact, there's a clip where Usher, a little boy, he got on like a little suit. He's performing. Keith Sweat was in the audience, and Keith Sweat came up and just so happened, I don't know why, but I kept going, and then uh, I did the showcase and invited Brian, and then
BM
LA's
Cox?
brother, no, Brian Reed, LA's brother.
Oh, Brian Reed. Okay,
So
okay. LA.
yeah,
Yeah, LA family. Yeah.
and back then I didn't get back to Keith, but Keith was the first one that that wanted to sign
What did Keith
him.
tell
But
you? Like he really wanted to sign him to what? Like
yeah,
I think he had two close at the time, the girls, right?
yeah, and so
Yeah,
and
okay,
and
yeah, yeah, I
so
forgot. Yeah, yeah, so too.
yeah,
Okay.
and it was one of them things, he saw Keith like, "Yo, kid's bad, man." But and I didn't have Keith's personal number. I used to go, but I just kept going doing the showcases. And then when Brian Reed came and saw Usher, he's like, "Yo, I want LA to see this kid." So I never circled back around to Keith because it was just like, "Yo," but Keith was the first one. Everybody else turned him down except Keith, but Keith was busy and stuff. So
That's fire, man. That's a great story. Like I
yeah,
never heard that one. That Keith Sweat wanted to sign Usher.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
big. And I'm a Keith Sweat fan. I love Keith Sweat, man. Oh, you don't even know. That's
yes,
amazing.
Hey man, Keith the kind
So
of
what did
dude,
you
man.
want to tell Keith? Let's be honest. What did you want to tell Keith?
No, I told Keith, okay, Keith came to the showcase. Keith saw him perform. And we didn't have much of a conversation. Hey, I like that kid, man. I'm interested in that kid. I'm like, all right, man. Okay, cool. All right, great. You know what I mean? But I kept going. And I didn't circle back around to him. You know what I mean? And Keith was busy doing shows and producing.
Yeah. He always
So it was
stayed
one of them
busy, and he
things.
was developing his label and the acts he had on the
Yeah,
label and all that. Yeah.
yeah. So
So you left it alone. So
that
you wound up going with Brian,
Brian Reed.
right? And you had a
Yeah, because
conversation with LA. How did that go? You went up to his office. Did you know LA at the time?
I knew LA, but Brian,
Okay.
me and Usher,
You and Brian was good.
yeah, Usher, Brian called me and told me to bring Usher up to the office so LA could see him. So my roommate at the time, may he rest in peace, Ralph Stacy, he drove me and Usher up there. And LA asked him to perform. LA put him in the tape. Usher started performing in the office, and LA stopped the tape and called all the women in the office and gave Usher an instant audience to see if he was
I
gonna be
heard
scared or
about
not.
that. Is that legendary? Is that real?
Yeah.
Did that really
Oh yeah.
happen?
That really happened. And Usher and LA started the tape again. Usher started singing to these grown ass women. Mind you, he's 13. He
Yeah.
started singing to these grown ass women, and he kisses one grown ass woman on the inside of her knee. That lady almost fainted. And LA stopped. Stopped the tape. Said, "Yo, man, you want a record deal?" Usher was like, "Yeah," and that was it, man. That was
And that
it.
was it. So it was who was in the office at the time representing us? It was you, his mom, and that's it.
No, just me. His mom was
Oh,
at
not
home
even
because
mama.
when LA called his mom, we called Usher's mom and said, "Hey, that's LA Reid's office." She thought me and Usher was joking. He said, "No, LA Reid want to give me a record deal," and she thought we was joking. And then LA said, "Nah, I'm serious." Had on speakerphone. So then it goes into all the other little stuff that goes on.
Yeah, man. Let me ask you a question. What did Usher perform for the that day in the office? Do you remember?
End of the road. Same song I saw him performing
Wow.
to. End of the road.
Okay. The same thing that he did at when you first seen him.
Right.
That was it. So how did that moment go down? Like, and between, and like people don't understand, like between that audition and the time that he really signed, how long did it take? What was the process like? What was it like in between, like waiting? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we got to
No, no,
deal with
no.
LaFace. Like, how did that go down?
No. He got a deal because see, I was still with Bobby Brown. So right after that happened, I left and went on tour. So they all the paperwork and all that other stuff was in the works. So his mom and the attorneys and stuff, they was handling that, and I was out on the road.
Okay.
So
Now I got a real question to ask. Why didn't you take the position of management, consultant, something, bro? Just in that space, man. Like you did this for this man. And hold on, before we talk about the deal, let's rewind for a second, man, about your boot camp, the boot camp that you put this kid through.
right,
Cause
the
they don't
boot camp.
understand you discovered him, but you just discovered him and take him to a deal. You discovered him and then you trained him. Let's talk about
Yeah,
that process.
no, because that's how I trained. You know what I mean? And I knew that when I grew up playing in bands, we had to play, sing, and dance. It's not like today. We had to do choreography and play instruments and dance. And you doing an hour and a half songs and stuff, worth of songs. You got to be winded. You got to be strong. And
Breathing
Usher,
and all that, right?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So how long did that process take? Like, did that process start the day that you met him or seen him perform
The
at this show? And you was like, bro, I got a
the
boot camp for you. How did that come about?
the
Because you're the
next
original
day,
dude for the boot camp. And I can name a couple of names of people that are doing that today, but I think you're the
yeah,
original dude, man. If you're going back 30 years.
it's it started the next day because I had a bunch of Bobby Brown tapes. I used to film Bobby in concert, and Usher used to watch Bobby Brown tapes like they were football tapes. He
Ah,
used to study, and I used to tell him like, "Yo, man, you got to study." You got just like people study Jackie Wilson and people study Michael Jackson.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. So what was the process like? What was boot camp like for him?
A lot of physical stuff, push-ups, jumping, military stuff, jumping over tables, singing, the whole nine. It's just too much to elaborate. But just if you ever seen a movie with military boot camp, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah, officer and a gentleman, baby.
Yeah, that's
One
what
of
it
my
was.
favorites. So you had him on some military training while still singing and developing his vocal ability
Exactly.
so that he could have that
Because
stamina.
yeah, because I have sons. I have six sons, and Usher was the same age as my sons, so they became brothers, and they all used the boot camp together. And they kickboxing the whole nine.
That's crazy, Daddy. That's crazy, man. So you took Usher through this process, man, which got him set up to do what he want to do. Now he got a deal. He good. What is your process now after that? You work with Bobby Brown, you work with New Edition. Now you are the dude that officially found Usher, developed him.
Uh,
You didn't just find him, you developed him, took him
right.
around, took him to some of the biggest producers in the industry in Atlanta at that time, took him to the big boy, LaFace, got him his deal. What's your process after that? And
I
did you
mean,
get
I
a
have.
check, man? I want to be honest. Did you get a check?
Oh, I'm well taken care of.
Okay. That's hey, shoot. You know, we in a business, baby.
Let me put it like this: I retired in '96. Let me put it like that.
Oh shit, man. Just put it like that, man. Hey, just put it like that. Say less.
Because I started doing film and television, and I manage other groups. I have other groups that I manage. I have my own label, so I have my groups and take my time and building superstars. That's my thing, building superstars.
And how did it feel today? And we're gonna get to what you're doing and the company and all that, man. Which I love what you're doing, man, and the boot camps and all of that. How did it feel today to see a brother that you discovered? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's like finding that needle in the haystack, man. You feel what I'm saying? And then that needle becomes the biggest fucking needle in the world. For you,
Godly.
I watched the video, man, of your hug after it. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what went on before it, because I'm sure it was a whole lot of I love you, my dude, and all that, man. But I seen the hug, I seen your ear, I
The
seen
hug
you
was
walk
right after.
away really like almost in tears, bro.
The hug was right after halftime.
Okay.
He came upstairs from half after he did his halftime performance,
What was that
and
feeling
that's
like? Speak it to me.
godly, man. Godly. You can't. There's nothing. It's unexplainable. You're happy, joyful. You're blessed. It was all God, man. It was all God.
And I see your relationship is still so solid with him all these
Yeah,
years later, man.
yeah. Because he's like a son. You be with a kid since he was 13. He's like a son. So and him and my sons, they're like brothers.
Yeah. That's lovely, man. And to see something that you found at that level, bro, and to see him on the biggest stage in the world, bro, must be like, God damn, I did something right in life.
Well, I got kids. I did that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
of
yes,
course.
I did
But I'm
something
talking about
great.
in
That
terms of
was
your business and what you really like, bro. You brought
yeah,
a light to the world, man. You understand that? Because had you
yeah. I
not done
do.
that, if it not been you to be the antithesis, there might not be no Usher today. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened, but it might have not happened.
Right. And I feel blessed, man. I feel it was God driven. God guided me, man. He guided me to come off the road. He guided me to go to that look at them groups. God guided my steps. So that's why I say the feeling is godly.
Now I got a question. Do you feel you could do it again?
I am doing it again.
Oh shit! Hold on. I had to step back for a minute. Talk to me,
No, I
bro.
got
Cause we coming into the present and the future right now. We gotta
no.
talk about your past because they gotta understand who is AJ Alexander, man. And it's crazy because once I posted it up, a lot of cats hit me up like, "Yo, I know AJ when there, I know AJ when this." I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah,
God damn, this dude's like a real legend.
yeah. I have my artist Cheryl Boyd. She's in South Carolina. If I send you her resume, you'd be like, damn, the people she's performed with. Um, I got an art. I got a kid group called the Gore Boys. They're three brothers, and they're hot. But then
Where they from?
I South Carolina, North Carolina,
Okay,
and then
okay.
I have a kid called Sean Michael, who's part of the Go Boys, but he's that next Chris Brown Usher. He that next one.
Mm.
And then I have an artist named Dre Sconey. Dre was in a group that signed to Usher's mom record label when she had her label. I was under the label.
When he had us records, yeah, I remember.
No, that was Usher's label. She had her
Yeah,
label.
that's what. Oh, okay, okay.
She just
I
let
used to
her.
work with One Chance back in the days.
Okay, oh, okay. So her label was J Pat Records,
Oh, okay.
and
When Mama
so
did it, I
yeah,
didn't know that. So Mama had her own
yeah,
label. Hold on, real quick. Mama
yeah,
had her own label.
yeah. She did.
So what you doing A&R for the label?
General manager. I was running groups, and I had the biggest boot camp, and I had more groups than I had
Now we're
boot
gonna
camp
get
there.
back to the boot. I'm gonna bring you back to the boot camp, but keep talking about what you're talking.
So Dre Sconey, he's out of Detroit. Man, I'm so proud of this kid, man. He just did a movie of Jackie Wilson, but he's dope. He's dope. And so then I have this white girl out of North Carolina.
Okay.
She talked like Dolly Parton, looked like a teenage Dolly Parton. But Manny, I'm gonna send you her music.
Yeah.
She spit like Nicki Minaj or Cardi
Ooh,
B. But
ooh.
to top
White
that off,
girl. Oh shit.
she can sing. She's a singer.
Oh,
It
I
just so
love it.
happened, she could spit. So I'm putting her first single out. It's her just throwing, spit records. So
So you running everything indie? How you doing it?
yeah, indie right now, and I'm shopping, but I'm doing indie.
But you
So
developing.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
are
I'm
they all
developing.
going through the boot camp?
Yeah, they are. Well, everybody else went through it,
Now
and
tell me about the boot camp today. Is that how you finding the artists that you're currently working with, the ones you just mentioned? Is that the process, or do you
no,
find them and then bring them into the boot camp? Like how's that working?
no, when I find them, the boot camp man takes a lot of work, and you got to really, and it takes a lot of work for me to really push a group and get them out there. So when I put you in my boot camp, I know you ready to do this. Ain't no joking around.
Okay.
So I go to different states. People want me to see their kids. You never know. I tell people, hey, I don't work for free, but you get me there. We got your kid got talent. I'm gonna teach the parent to manage the kid. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, so that's the thing. I tell parents, do like Usher's mom did, invest in your kid. Invest in your kids. So that's what you're supposed to do.
So what is it? What does an investment from a parent look like, man? Outside of putting in my time, like when you talk to the parents, do you break down like a budget? You break down like how does that look, man? At the end of the day, if I got a kid and I want them and I want AJ and AJ just came to me and said, "Yo, your son, your daughter is incredible, man. I want like what does that process look like?"
I mean, it depends on the kid, the family, the financial situation. So I adjust my prices accordingly because I tell people I don't work for free. But my expertise, I can train your kid. And then along with that training, of course, it comes with connections of putting somebody, putting everybody, in front of a record label or getting them out there. See, I don't train them for one hit. I train them to be legends. You can last 30, 40
Speak it, brother.
years. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of one hit wonders out here. You know what I mean? And it's like I can take somebody like Trey Songz and make him 3 times better than what he is. You know, that I can do. I've done it.
What is
Yeah.
the process like for you? And how long does the
You,
process normally take? Is it like a 6 week, 8 week program? Is it a 4 week? Like what is the process and take for you, or is it different for everybody else?
it's different from everybody else. Oh no, I'm on the podcast. You know, that's your boy Keith,
Keith
my
Sweat.
brother.
Hey. Nah, but I just
Yeah.
want to know what the process is like. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the process is like I assess their vocals. I assess, how strong their vocals are, and then I put them in the right path. I pick songs that'll take them out of their comfort zone
mm, mm,
because that's how they get stronger.
vocals. So you said you got a girl that's comparative to Nicki Minaj. So you're just not just doing R&B. You're now doing hip
Right,
hop too.
right. And my partner, man, my boot camp, Michi, man, he rest in peace, man. People used to say we look like brothers. I always called him my brother, but he would teach people to play guitar and keys, and I had him singing and stuff. And his daughter actually was the bass player for Beyonce for like 10 years. And
Oh damn.
yeah, but his kids, there's 3 sisters, the Gigi's,
Okay.
English, China, and Lauren. They have a band. They funky. They bad. So the whole artist development thing is there. And I assess people what they do.
It's so funny because that's so not available these days, especially in terms of major labels, man. And this I know probably maybe other two other people, man, that do what you do in this industry these days, man, with the boot camp and doing it at the level that you do it, man. You and Keith. I know that you back in the days you and Keith with Usher and all that. Like I could imagine that you and Keith are probably maybe doing a label together or a situation together where y'all
No,
y'all looking for
it,
artists. I don't want to
it's
go too
funny.
far. I don't want to go too
No,
far,
no, 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 no,
but I
no.
gotta touch it.
I got okay. I tell you one thing about Keith. I have 2 brothers. I got Keith and Johnny.
Okay.
They always make sure I'm straight. Keith hire me to do work when he don't need to hire me to do work. Keith, Johnny too. They both. You and all them years, I never went out on tour with Usher. I was out with Keith and Johnny, my
Uh.
peer group. You know what I mean? So I mean, when you got people, and speaking of situations, I was blessed enough to enter into a venture with Keith recently that's going to be big.
mm.
I came and I
Blessings.
introduced him. Yeah, introduced him to an idea or not. And Keith, the kind of person, man, if you know Keith Sweat, he's a perfectionist. Keith took it in a whole nother level. And when it hit, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's huge. And I'm just proud to say that, hey, I was on the first link of that,
Yeah.
on a conversation with Keith. Keith like, yo, I do that. And he said he going to do something, he going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's him. And so when it hit, and if you go on his page, you'll figure out what it is. But that's
It's
that
gonna hit.
that's
It's
that
gonna hit hard. Is that what you're telling me, AJ?
yeah, that's that venture. You mentioned it, and I'm like, yep, I did. But Keith always hired me to shoot his concerts, to do photo shoots. Out of all the photographers here in Atlanta, Keith always hired me to do his photos and stuff. So
Yeah.
and I'm proud of the work that I do with him, man. Because sometimes it's like I shoot him and Johnny, but it's like when you look, he got this one red picture. When he got him his red like robe, shit. Man, I'm proud of that shit. I mean, so when you know when you have your brothers like
I
that,
can see it
man,
in your face, bro. I see where
that help
the
you,
enjoyment really comes from. Because you can see you can see it in your face how it comes across. You feel what I'm saying?
right? So that's why I'm here in Atlanta now. I'm working with Keith. He called me, hey man, I need you to come down here today. Got me a ticket, flew me in. Like because I'm gonna put whatever I do for him. I'm gonna put that passion in there for it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's just like it's just like Johnny Gill. If you see that new Johnny Gill got a new picture
What's up
out
with
with him,
Johnny? What's up with Johnny? Now they
he
got
got
the
on he got
residency and all that. What's
yeah
going on?
yeah Johnny got on that all white. I
Yeah,
shot that. You know what I mean? So there's things that that with my two brothers that 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 brings it. And I'm lucky to say, man, I got two brothers that are superstars, man. And I
yeah,
got a kid that's a superstar, in a sense. But
yeah. You got a
you
couple
know,
people around you, the superstars.
yeah, but I never been that one like when Usher started when blew up. I stayed with him for a job. That was never me. Usher want me to do what I always did when I discovered him doing shit. Because I act, I do stand up comedy, and I love filming. Photography is my thing. That's my passion. So I put it all in there. When you got brothers that help you, you know what I mean, and then they respect you. And I remember, I'm gonna tell you, I told this story once.
Come on,
Usher's mom,
tell it a second time, baby. Come on.
yeah, Usher's mom owned a limousine company, and I was general manager of the company. And of course, driving a limo, you have to wear suits and stuff, right?
Right, right.
And Keith was like, "Nigga, man, fuck that. I don't need you to wear no suit, nigga. Just come pick me up."
Whatever you wearing, niggas come get me.
that and people. Somebody asked me the other day, man. They like, "Yo, Keith don't travel with a bodyguard." Like, nah, man. Keith, Keith a street nigga. That's OG.
You don't want them problems.
Hey, keep that one in, man, from the hood that will fight your ass. Don't give a fuck, and you know it.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't think ain't nothing sweet with that R&B shit.
no, hey, Johnny got hands too. Johnny trained with Sugar Ray
Johnny
Leonard.
got hands. Cause
Johnny got hands,
Johnny's
man.
had some problems throughout the years.
Hey, Johnny got hands, bro. Trust me. They don't want no parts of that. So when you got brothers that you rolling with, man, you know what I mean?
Now, have you taught them some other stuff,
I ain't never teach them
being
shit.
a black belt and all that, or
No,
they just been good on this street shit on their own?
shit on their own, man. Cause you figure, see, I can fight, but when I'm with them, I always got weapons. I'm
Right.
all kind of guns you can think of. But like Keith, man, Keith roll out by himself, roll at what's up, man, and keep it going. But you, as a real brother, hey, that nigga gonna get in somebody's ass if they cross the line. And that's one thing. Johnny nice and smile, but Johnny got hands. Because a couple of times I've seen Johnny snap. I'm like, yo, who's this motherfucker? You know what I mean? So when you deal with all that, that's who. When people want to know who I am, it's the people that are around you that make you who you are. It's like Usher's mom. You know, I ain't got. I talked to her like for 4 months, but she'll call, "What's up, AJ?" We laughing it, but her and Usher know. If you fuck with them, you gonna wake the giant up. You gonna wake me up, and I'm gonna go crazy because that's the family.
Oh shit.
You see, this the same thing with Keith and with Johnny. They know, if I'm out, I may be taking pictures, but if some shit go down, oh, I'm fucking shit up. You know what I mean? And they know that. So the people
Oh,
around you,
hold on. You the photographer with hands.
you can say that, man.
Hey, that's my photographer, driver, security.
Yeah. So when you're dealing with, and you got those people around you, just like I said, right now, I'm in Atlanta right now doing some work for Keith. He ain't had to fly me out here to do this, but he knows the passion. He know I'm gonna give him the best I got, and he's looking out. That's how that is. You follow
Right,
me?
right.
So when you see this entity, if you go to his page, you'll see it.
I'm gonna go
You
to this
do see
page. I
you.
want to go see what the hell's going on, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan of Keith Sweat since I was at Uptown, bro. So I was there at the beginning and watch his development, man. And all these years later, man, to see what he did, and then even in terms of the artists that he developed, like Cut Close and Silk, like you said earlier, man. Keith has always been to me a businessman, kind of like I'll Be Sure. When I look at I'll Be Sure, and you know what I'm saying, or God Bless the Dead, like Heavy D. You know, these are artists that were also great businessmen. You feel what I'm saying? So I could
Hey,
imagine what's coming next in terms of, first of all, he's back. You know what I'm saying? All my 90s groups and artists are back, man. They're all touring. I got a lot of, that was my time, just like it was your time. You know what I mean?
yeah, man, that's one thing. The brothers, man, they keeping the music alive. You know what I mean? And doing that. That's why, when you look at it, and you said that like with Usher, Usher look up to them guys, man. He look and Usher know OGs. He know OGs, and Usher like the fact that Keith looks out for me. You follow me?
Yeah, yeah. Like
And
a
like,
little bro type thing.
yeah. So you know, and like I said, when people you looking for Keith you looking for Keith in the morning, he's on the stock market every morning. The brains, bro. And something else about Keith people don't know. That man's a crazy, crazy interior decorator. He do
Woo!
interior design. What?
Hold on. My parents had an interior design company for 30 years, my dude. That's what my
Man,
mother, God bless my father, that's my mother. My father actually did the furniture. My mother is the interior designer. Wow, you
and
just took, yo,
that's the
I
thing.
got, my mom's 80 years old, man. And let me tell you, they still want her back in New York. I was in every building on Park Avenue, bro. We didn't have a client that was worth less than $1 million, bro. Real talk. That's crazy.
And this is because I do stand up comedy. So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my joke
Oh, we're gonna
my
get there in
jokes
a
is like
second.
this.
That's how we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah. Okay, my jokes is like this. You want to find Keith? He's at the stock market. You want to
Ooh,
find Johnny? He's on the golf course. Boy can play some golf. And
where
me,
the
I'm at
money
the
at?
gun range. And where I'm at the gun range. So,
That's where
oh
your money at, though.
yeah, man. I mean, you got brothers like guys that really support me, like my brother Derek Allen, DOA. He one of the baddest producers, one of the baddest bass players. And DOA, when I first found Usher, DOA he was my hype man. He was my hype man.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
he would hype me, when I first found him. So it was
That's
like, yo,
crazy. And look what he's done in the process.
yeah. And whenever I needed songs for my groups and stuff, DOA would give me music. He'd give me a song, you know what I mean? And that's the way when you build people, And that's like, I got this dude named Stewie. He always when I come in town, I can't get my Mercedes because he driving
He must be in the room.
it. Yeah, he want to. He actually radio DJ personality.
Okay. I probably must know. You know, I'm from the radio world.
1079,
Of course, B.
1079.
That's my house.
Stewie, you know Stewie.
I know Stewart. You forget I'm Mad Dog, baby.
Hey Stewie,
I worked radio
come here.
promotions for 30 years.
Dude say he know you. His name is Mad Dog.
From Dallas.
Can you
What's
hear?
up, Poppy? How you doing, Pop?
What up, man?
It's your boy Mad Dog, man. I know I ain't been there in about 3 years now, man. I'm in Puerto Rico.
Are you in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, when you coming out here, man, I've been telling AJ, y'all need to come out here, come see the family. I got the stations out here too.
Oh,
I got the
line
iHeart
it up.
stations out here.
Okay, let's line it up.
We gonna make the connection. We gonna get you out here, Poppy.
All right, for sure. Appreciate it. Good to see you, bro.
All right, we gonna connect the dots, baby. I promise. I've been doing this for 37 years, baby. I rock with everybody. I just left Atlanta 3 years ago to move here. AJ.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So now you back. Now you back doing your thing, right?
Right.
You developing your label. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I got the label, and then I got some film projects that I got in works right now.
Talk to me about the film, the television. I know you got the comedy thing going on. What's going on?
I have my life story, which is called "I Don't Want to Kill You, I Want to Make You Laugh," and then I'm doing a book right now that's being finished called "Surviving Atlanta,"
Okay.
and we're doing the music, the movie. I mean, "Surviving Atlanta." We're gonna probably shoot that like July, and it's about my story in Atlanta. You know, with Bobby Brown, the shootouts. You know,
The whole thing.
the pistol whooping and shit, and it's all that crazy shit. You know, so and that's it. Then, like I tell people now, I'm in LA and I'm doing comedy. You can find me in LA at the Comedy
What's the
Chateau.
day-to-day like in LA?
Hey, you know what, man? It's Hollywood, but I don't be out, man, unless I'm riding my motorcycle. I ride my motorcycle. I don't do the club. The only place I really go is the comedy club, you know, do my stand up. So I do I mean you got everybody from Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, they all come in there. But I'm in there, you know, if somebody want to find me, bring me they tape, you come to Comedy Chateau, I'm at the end of the bar every weekend, every open night. I'm just there till I go on stage and do my show and come back and sit back at the bar. So it's Comedy Chateau.
How long you been
You know,
doing that?
I've been doing comedy, man, shit, all my life, but professionally since '96. Started doing it professionally in
Professionally.
'96.
So you've been touring and all that. That's a long time to be doing it.
Yeah, but I take breaks. I do other things, and I became a casting director on major films and shit. So I started doing all that.
What's going on the film side? Cause I touched that as well, man. I'm actually a lot of people don't know I'm actually a Emmy nominated casting director for when I did The
Oh,
Fall
really?
with Puff Daddy and Khaled and all that. Yeah, for ITV America, man. So I'm
Oh,
blessed
I done
on
did.
that, bro. But
Yeah, I done did Bad Boys 2, Any Given Sunday, Waterboy, so many, man.
oh wow, on the casting side,
Casting side. But
wow, that's amazing.
oh yeah.
You,
So
you need. I ain't
Senior
gonna
with
lie,
Justice.
bro. You send me your resume, but you didn't. That wasn't inclusive.
Man, I got so much on my resume, man. It's crazy.
But
And that's
understand,
why
those are like I tell you, those are highlights, bro. That especially where you at and what you doing, that need to be inclusive, bro. Because I didn't know that, man. That's amazing. You talking about Any Given Sunday, man? That movie in itself is incredible.
every crook in there, I put in that movie. I pulled them off the street.
Al Pacino, LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's so many, bro. The names just go on and on and on, man. In terms of that movie, that's one of my. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my favorite movies ever, and it's shot in Miami.
Right. Yeah, man. It's one of them things, man. So, you know, and me doing my stand-up comedy is, you know, because, you know, I'm chronic PTSD. I suffer from PTSD. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, but me doing my comedy is is my relief.
Okay,
And then I
and
work
that
with my groups. And I got my partner, you know, boss, Drayton, we got the group As Yet now. And boss and we're, you know, he's our other partner, Phantom, Ralph Stacy, he passed away from COVID. But we carrying on his torch and his legacy, and you know, we
bless.
recording groups, and you know, they approached him about being an As Yet. He went for it. As Yet was a whole new group, and it's dope. I'm gonna send you that stuff so you can get them on your podcast.
Yeah, man. I definitely, like I
As Yet.
said, We not done, man. I'm glad that we was able to get it done. You know, tonight, man. We tried to do this once before, but we got it done tonight with no issues, man. I'm real happy for you, man. I know that you're exhausted, so I'm not gonna keep you on long, bro. I just want to know at this point, man, while we wrapping it up, what's the future for you? What you're doing, right? TV and everything, man. Like what's going on with you, AJ Alexander? What is the future? And a quick synopsis, and a quick ball. What is the future hold for you, AJ Alexander?
Same thing I've always been doing. Film, music, television, photos, you know, that's it. And enjoying my
That's
grandkids.
enjoying your life at this point, right, brother?
Yeah. And
And
and raise my grandkids. So that's it.
that's what, I always say family over everything. That's why I'm here in Puerto Rico, man. Taking care of my 80-year-old mom, bro. But still holding it down in terms of my business and who I am for 35 years plus, you know what I'm saying? And the business, man. So I salute you on that and saying something like that in terms of your family. And because to me, that's priority, bro. Without family, ain't shit.
You're right, bro. You're
You
right,
know what I'm
man.
saying? There ain't no balance, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Keith Sweat. Shout out
Yeah.
Johnny Gill. Like, I can't even believe that you there with the legendary Keith Sweat. That's big, man. You got the homie from High 1079, High 1079, the biggest station in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to
Stewie.
V103 and Power and what they do, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, High 1079, bro. Listen, that's a whole nother conversation, man. I'm glad you there. Hey, I got you. Normally, how we wrap up our show, man, I allow not allow, I introduce my 51 year in the business counterpart, Kermit Henderson, man, was worth a lot of the bigger groups back in the day, going back to Kool and the Gang and all of that, Aaliyah and everything, man. That dude was from the beginning of this, man. Kermit, where you at, Daddy?
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Come on, man. Give it up to my man AJ, man, and who else we got on here, bro? Let's go.
Definitely, I don't want to salute AJ. I was, able to hear most of the stuff, and I'm talking about Usher and Bobby Brown, and even you talking about the design and stuff, the house design, or whatever you call it, interior decorator stuff. It was like that's real interesting. But anyway, like how you discovered Usher, I discovered a guy named Lazy Bone back in 1992, and then I got with the group that was called Own Enterprise. I introduced the Easy E, and they went on to sell over 50 million records. And like you being humble, I'm humble about the stuff that I've done, including, things that, that people see in my mind that know me negatively. One thing I want to ask you is that I know you mentioned, security. I know you mentioned about the gun range. Do you take like any martial arts or anything? Too? I know he referred to you as the cameraman with hands. Said that you professionally can hurt people from excuse me, martial arts or whatever too.
Oh, of course, man. You can't be the bodyguard for the biggest nigga on the planet. You ain't got hands. You ain't got skills. You know.
Well, the reason why I asked that because I remember I had run into Snoop Dogg one day in Austin, Texas, at South by Southwest at that main hotel that they did. I forgot. And he come out the elevator with these two big guys, like 6'6", 6'9", 400 pounds each. I'm like, they big. If they don't know karate, somebody just knock them out. But I just was always wondering about that. But yeah, appreciate you come on here. Looking forward to communicating with you in the future. Also, we have on here.
We got any questions, Anybody want to ask any questions?
Let me introduce them right quick. First, we got on here Make Your Heart Entertainment, Darrell P. and Jay Hood are from Chicago with the organization called Make Your Heart. They support all the different stuff. We have DJ Chill on here. He's one of the top DJs on the Clubhouse app. He also has a lot of relationship with the Wu-Tang family. And so, yeah, anybody got any questions? And we got Big 1842. Anybody got any questions, comments?
We good then.
Nah, I'm good, bro. Appreciate y'all.
That's
That's what I
man.
want to hear. Jay Hood and everybody up in here, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but y'all here with us, man. And my big bro, AJ Alexander, legendary, man. I'm so happy
Thank
to
you,
have
brother.
you here today. You feel me?
Thank
AJ,
you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yo, I appreciate you like the OG that you are, man. I'm gonna throw you your flowers, man. One over the other, bro, because even tonight, man, it was a privilege to have you on here, but I learned some stuff through the process, man, which is great. To know your dedication to your profession and to your clients and what you do, man. And I think it's incredible. The boot camps, continue doing that, bro, because I think it's so necessary, man. Like these artists don't even know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they really, really don't know about talent development.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm so happy to have a brother like you still doing things of
Thank
that
you, man.
nature.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, bro. I really do.
And guess what, man? We ain't done, bro. We gonna have multiple sidebar conversations, man. Cause I'm ready to get in with you, bro, and see what else we gonna do.
Yeah, I do have a quick question. What you mentioned, the people you mentioned, and a lot of people we know in common. I want to know if you know two of my mentors. Hank Caldwell used to work with. He does. I think he was like Johnny Gill's. You call it. I can't think of the name right now. But anyway, him, a guy named Andre Morgan, who I met, who introduced me to Bobby Brown, New Edition, and Ready for the World. He worked with LCA Records out of Cleveland. Andre Morgan, and then like I said, the other person I just mentioned. Anyway, he worked with Atlantic Records. I just wonder if you heard any of those names at all, especially dealing with the people. Because matter of fact, we worked with Bobby when he was with New Edition before they got the deal when they had Candy Girl. That was too early.
No, I started working with him until he was 18.
Yeah, and Hank Caldwell was somebody he had worked with. He actually helped start Death Row. I just wonder if you knew him from. So you mentioned Johnny Gill and all that, and I remember he had me meet. Were you with when New Edition went on tour and all six of them was on tour back in the day? Had to be around 2000. I had met them in.
We said during the Heartbreak Any tour.
Yeah, and I met them in Louisville, I think it was, and we took a picture backstage with everybody, including Bobby and Johnny Gill was with the group at the time. Were you with them then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, I got to sign off, but I got to run.
No problem. Thank you.
My brother, we appreciate you, AJ. Have a blessed night, man, and we'll catch up with you real soon.